I'm Inspector Don Coleman with the Calgary Police Service Major Crime Section. The Calgary Police Service Homicide Unit is seeking public assistance for information connected to the death of a nearly 3-month-old boy who died more than a year ago. The death has been ruled a homicide, and investigators are asking for anyone with any information to come forward. Cyrus NEL, who was born in June 2015, was found in medical distress around 9 p.m. on Monday, August 31st, 2015, inside his family home. Emergency crews arrived at his home in the 600 block of Taradale Drive Northeast, and Cyrus was transported to hospital, however died a day later. As with all undetermined child deaths, pediatric specialists and pathologists assisted greatly in moving this investigation forward. And although the cause of death is not being released at this time, investigators believe the fatal injuries were inflicted on Cyrus within the family home. Police are not looking for additional suspects. Homicide investigators have spoken with the suspects. However, at this time, no plausible explanation has been provided to explain Cyrus' fatal injuries. Anyone with information about this homicide is asked to call the Calgary Police Service at 403-266-1234 or Crime Stoppers anonymously. And I can try to answer any questions you have, but please realize that these are incredibly sensitive investigations and there's not a lot I may be able to offer by way of further information.
Can you talk to us about the original call, like why the call came in, who it came from, when this baby was in distress?
Yeah, the original call was medical distress related. 911 called the police, and then emergency services were contacted.
Can you tell us who made that call?
Someone from in the home.
When you say the suspects, can you elaborate on, do you mean the parents?
Well, I can speak generally more than specifically. And generally in these types of investigations, we often find that there's exclusive opportunity, and that exclusive opportunity exists within members of the family who reside in that home. In this case, we're not looking outside of that.
So is it fair to say that when you say the suspects, they're clearly family members, but you won't say at this point if it is the actual parents, or if it could have been cousins or aunts or uncles, brothers and sisters?
Well, we believe that Cyrus resided in that residence with his parents.
Does he just live there with it's just him and his two parents?
Yeah, we believe that Cyrus lives in the home with his parents.
So when you say that you're not looking for any other suspects, but you're looking for public assistance, are you looking for people who may know something about how that family dynamic was working?
Yeah, well, that information can exist in several forms. What we're looking for is anybody who may have some knowledge into the events that led to that call and led to Cyrus's death. Whatever that information is like, it could be anything.
Was he in the care of both of his parents at the time?
I'm not sure that the specifics of that can be released at this time. Like, it's incredibly sensitive investigations, and we're trying to balance the public need for information and the integrity of the investigation.
Where are his parents still in Calgary?
They are, yeah.
Would you characterize them as cooperating with you?
I can say that the parents of Cyrus have participated in the investigation to date. However, as I stated earlier, there's still, we believe, no plausible explanation that's been offered as to their injuries that led to Cyrus' death.
How can investigations still be ongoing? No charges laid, no arrest made, but no, you guys aren't looking for suspects anymore. How does that work?
Well, there's, generally speaking, there can be several reasons for that. In cases like this, undetermined child deaths, that are undetermined on the onset, are incredibly sensitive and difficult investigations that rely heavily on medical information, which is often takes a lot of time for those reports and examinations to be completed. Then we get to a point where we know the cause of death. In this case, it's been deemed a homicide, and we're confident in that. There's no other explanation for that other than that this is a homicide. And then, like I said, generally speaking, with those investigations, there's exclusive opportunity, often amongst the parents, and we believe in this case, this would be similar to that.
And just remind us, what was the initial call in terms of, did you guys say it was not suspicious at the time?
I don't think we said it was not suspicious. We dispatch investigators to all child deaths. Sometimes it takes a substantial period of time to determine what we're actually dealing with, so we don't release every one of these because there's actually a fair number of them. But we release the ones once we're in a position to know what occurred, and in this case, it's a homicide.
Can you speak at all to what kinds of interviews have already occurred, either with neighbors or other people? Can you just talk a little bit about who you've been able to speak to, at least up to this point?
Not specifically. I can't.
Are there any other children in the home? Sorry, just for clarity.
No, there isn't.
Was it just 3 residents in the home?
The specifics of that, like I said, we're not going to get into the specifics of that. That's for down the road. But I can tell you, like I said earlier, that Cyrus lived in the home with his parents.
Do you expect it all to actually release the cause of death soon?
As far as soon goes, it depends. At some point, we may do that. Once the investigation's been successfully completed, that may come.
You did say earlier, though, there were injuries to Cyrus.
Correct. Yeah, which led to his death.
Another question?
When did the investigation change from an undetermined death investigation to a homicide investigation?
Well, the investigation has been continuing in various forms since its onset in 2015. We received information, although I won't speak to specifically when, but somewhat recently, that confirmed the homicide aspect of it.
So, just kind of to get it one other way, so when you're asking for people to provide information, are you looking for people who know something about how those parents and Cyrus live day-to-day life, or how broad of information are you looking for? Are you looking for specifically on the day of his death, or in the general context of how that family was run?
Well, I think if somebody has, people know what information they have, and if somebody feels they have information that is helpful to what is now been deemed a homicide investigation, then our hopes is they would come forward. And I think if anybody does know that, like they know that, and it's not just a matter of everyday information. We're looking for somebody who may have a piece of information that's specific to move this case forward.
And by virtue of us being here today, you do believe somebody knows something. It's not just these 3 people. They never had other people interacting in their life.
Yeah, somebody knows something. Everybody, like there's at least one person, obviously for sure, that knows something. There could be more. And we'd encourage anybody who feels that they have a piece of information that could be important to, like I said, what is now a homicide investigation, that they come forward.
And you did say that there was some recent information that led you to believe that it was a homicide. I guess, for all intents and purposes, had this new information recently not come to light, would you have continued to investigate this as suspicious or a homicide, or was this like the revelation to say, okay, we need to dig deeper, or were there suspicions prior to that from you folks?
Yeah, there was, from the time Cyrus arrived at the Children's Hospital, obviously, based on that, there was concerns that have led, and the involvement of homicide investigators, and homicide investigators have been involved since then. The recent information is medical related that's been able to allow us to be confident in what we're dealing with, which, like I've said several times, it's a homicide investigation of a 3-month-old boy.
Was it information around his death? Was it to do with medical records? Are you able to be more specific about the nature of that medical information?
No. It's relating to the homicide of Cyrus NEL and the medical reports that can substantiate that.
Obviously, you guys have spoken before about the extra emotional burden when you're dealing with a young person's death or a child's death. How has this been on investigators?
It's always difficult. Like we say all the time, the homicide investigations and its impact on the organization, more specifically on investigators, is huge. We have investigators that are fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, so it's incredibly impactful. Good, thanks.